One of the key concepts around which the contemporary knowledge of pragmatics revolves is that of implicature. I'll just try to explain what implicature is first, and then I'll move on to explain its various dimensions. Implicature may be seen as a term which covers something which is not said directly or is conveyed through certain hints or ideas or something which is implied and is obviously different from its literal meaning. So, in our daily conversation, in our routine talk, in our talk with our friends, colleagues, uh, and with our fellow students, family members, we do convey things through the use of implicatures. We do use it on daily basis. Quite innumerable times in a day. There are many things we do not say directly and try to imply them through our speaking styles or through our choice of words. So it is something which a speaker can imply, suggest, or mean as compared to what he literally means. Implicature conveys any meaning conveyed indirectly or through hints and understood implicitly without ever being conveyed or said explicitly. This is in order to understand implicature, we need to see the distinction between implicit and explicit also. Implicature is something which is implicit and is quite against or quite different from what is explicit. So what we aim to convey, intend to convey indirectly is actually the implicature. And conveyance of implicature or conveyance of meaning through implicature include various terms in our daily discourse, like terms like mean, suggest, imply. They all are used in situations where we try to implicate something. We try to imply something or try to convey something through hints or through indirect means. And the meaning of such conversations or such ideas which are being implicated or conveyed directly are usually understood within a certain context, and they sometimes may not be understood at all outside that context. If you look at the example here, one of the participants named Sarah says, "My brother has just told me he can't look after our daughter tomorrow after all." And the friend of Sarah, Iram, says, "He's such a considerate man." If you just follow this statement, "he's such a considerate man, you would not be able to understand the meaning. Sarah is trying to say something which doesn't show what Iram says. Sarah is saying that her brother has refused to look after her daughter, but Iram says that he is a considerate, kind person. He doesn't suit in the situation. Here we can understand that Iram is probably speaking sarcastically or ironically, and she's just trying to say or trying to convey the opposite meaning of considerate. She's probably saying that he is not considerate, he's not being kind to you by refusing to take care of your daughter. But we can understand only that in that particular context, and when we are able to know that this is being conveyed sarcastically. Implicature is a neology which was developed by Paul Grice. Again, he's a very popular British pragmatist, and one of his most famous works has been about conversational implicature. This arose from his quest for knowing the difference between what is being said and what is being conveyed. We do convey differently sometimes than what we say. So he says that this difference between what is said and what is implicated or what is conveyed is quite obvious in our daily talk, is intuitively obvious. But it is very difficult to describe or understand it in a systematic manner. We do understand that this kind of difference does exist, but in order to investigate it in a systematic manner or present it to our readers or listeners in a systematic fashion or in an academic manner, becomes very difficult. So one of the major contributions of Grice in this regard has been that he tried to present such things in a systematic manner, and for this he used the term implicature. He was interested in developing a systematic explanation of how and why literal and intended meanings differ with each other. He focused on two different versions or levels of meaning, and he labeled them as what is said and what is implicated. In front of you, you can read what is said is about more or less equivalent to literal meaning or linguistic knowledge or the truth conditional meaning of the sentence uttered. This could be reduced to truth conditions. It is important in explaining meaning in general meaning of the words or sentences or the grammatical meanings of the sentences. And this largely relies on your knowledge of the vocabulary of a language, which helps you to detect these meanings. In comparison, what is implicated covers the very specific meaning that Grice was interested in, the intended meaning or the meanings of the intention of the speaker. The different ways in which implicated meaning can be derived from what is said. So it is about those meanings which are derived from the communication and are not conveyed directly. In order to understand what is implicated, one not only needs to know the vocabulary knowledge or the basic lexical knowledge of a language, but also the pragmatic knowledge of that language in a particular society. How that language is understood or used for certain conversational acts in that particular community. It is very important to know the implicated or intended meaning in a conversation. In this way, we can say that implicatures are context dependent. In order to know the implicature, we need to know the context of a conversation. Otherwise, we would not be able to understand what is being implied. For example, if we say it's the taste, this small sentence can have different meaning in different situations. For example, in an advertisement of a product like Coca-Cola, this may, if somebody says it's the taste, somebody might understand that it's about the unique taste of this drink, which can attract the audience or which is compelling the participant in or the performer in the advertisement to like it. In comparison, if we say in another situation where somebody has left his or her sandwich intact, we could say, and he says it's the taste. So we could assume probably it's because of not so like taste of that particular food item or the sandwich, because of which he left the sandwich and didn't eat it. So in different situations, the same sentence may imply different meanings. And implicature is a term which covers all those meanings and the working of all those meanings in pragmatics.